So firstly, it is proteinuria or protein leak in your urine. So we have heard in the morning sessions as well, any protein or albumin in urine is definitely a concern which cannot be ignored. Be it a patient of early kidney disease or a transplant recipient, any amount of protein in the urine should not be neglected. So what are the possible causes? So a patient who is a transplant recipient, most often the deceased kidneys or the damaged kidneys are left behind, and the transplant kidney is a third kidney or sometimes a fourth kidney that is there in your body. So naturally, the kidneys which are damaged, if you still have some urine output on dialysis, the damaged kidneys will continue to leak some protein. And this can be detected in the early post-transplant period, and usually after 3 to 4 weeks, the protein from the deceased kidney should stop coming. So any kind of proteinuria that is persistent beyond the 1 month, 1.5 months should be evaluated. Then we have, of course, the recurrent or de novo disease. Many a times we know what is the original disease that caused kidney to fail. And if that is known, there is a risk of recurrence post-transplant that can be predicted. And sometimes the disease is not known. We don't know why the kidneys failed in the first place. And there are certain immune-mediated conditions which are at high risk of recurring or coming back in the new kidney. Diseases like IgA nephropathy, which is the most common glomerular disease causing kidney failure, has a high recurrence risk. So proteinuria or albumin leak could be the earliest sign of the disease coming back in your transplant kidney. So a periodic urine evaluation is important. Again, FSGS, focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, is not a rare cause as a glomerular condition causing end-stage kidney disease. Primary FSGS has a very high recurrence risk, and such patients should be counseled and taught to monitor the urine for protein early on. Some of the immunosuppressive drugs themselves can contribute to protein leak, like mTOR inhibitors. Rejection, acute rejection or a chronic rejection naturally causes damage in the kidney and can cause protein leak. A condition called hyperfiltration. So when the transplant kidney, it is a single kidney which has to filter the entire body's blood. So in specific situations like a kidney which is from an older donor, older to younger donor, then a younger donor has more muscle mass, has more load on the kidney, can lead to hyperfiltration. Obesity in the recipient can contribute to hyperfiltration. Sometimes gender difference, a female to male kidney donation or BMI mismatch can contribute to hyperfiltration. So hyperfiltration can cause albuminuria, and albuminuria, if unchecked, can slowly cause damage in the transplant kidney. Sorry, I missed on the management. So yeah, now as we discussed, detecting early is important because albuminuria persisting can slowly damage the kidney. We have now the newer classes of drugs like SGLT2 and non-steroidal MRA, which can be added onto the existing armamentarium of ACE inhibitors and ARBs, which of course your nephrologist would slowly titrate and optimize the dose to provide maximum benefit for your transplant kidney.